We are sad to announce that Randy Macho Man Savage suffered a heart attack while driving a car today, which caused him to crash into a tree. He later passed away at a local hospital. May he rest in peace.
Oh, yeah. I'm Tom Morrow, and this is my co-host, Al Dente, and we are World of Pro Wrestling,
where we give our opinion on the current state of the wrestling industry today, and today our topic is the WWE's
creative indecision.
The WWE has made some pretty bad creative decisions lately, and a lot of them have to do around the time of the draft. In particular, the Cena debacle.
We got drafted twice.
Yeah, which was a waste. They could have used one of them for Kofi Kingston, because he was announced that he was drafted to Raw on the internet, which was a waste.
Yeah, I mean, drafting Cena twice. I mean, for the hour and 20 minutes that people were excited that he was going to SmackDown.
Yeah.
I mean, it created hype for all. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't.
I was excited, and I remember I got on Twitter or I texted you or something saying, "Oh, they got some guts now. Maybe they're gonna actually turn him heel now."
And make SmackDown better.
Yeah, but I was also. I was worried what they were going to do because I didn't know who was going to take his spot on Raw. I didn't know if Orton was ready, but apparently he is.
The funny thing was, Orton got drafted right after Cena, and at that point, I was like, there's something up here.
We said Raw is screwed. They got no one now.
But then they
lo and behold.
And then they put Cena back on, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, that wasn't nice at all.
And not only do they keep him on Raw, but they give him the title, which pretty much spoils the rest of the year because we know he's not going to lose the title to The Rock because The Rock isn't going to stick around that much. Mm-hmm. And we know that whoever wins the Rumble, they're going to fight whoever has the heavyweight title.
Yeah, the World Heavyweight title. Yeah. So it's going to be a SmackDown Royal Rumble.
It's probably going to be a SmackDown guy. And if it's a Raw guy, we know he's going to lose.
Yeah, because Cena's going to hold on to that belt. And we know the upcoming pay-per-view at Over the Limit with The Miz. Miz is going to say, I quit. And that whole feud between The Miz and Cena is going to be finished. Yeah. And he's going to go with Alex Riley, and he's going to start a feud with the new World Heavyweight Champion.
Who's Christian? I mean, who's Orton, sorry. Because I forgot because it was so quick, the title change. Christian won the title on Extreme Rules. Because the rumor is Vince wanted to cash in on the moment that Edge and Christian were going to have in the ring. If you don't remember, Edge left because of terrible injury that he
has. Vacated the World Heavyweight Championship, and then it was between Alberto Del Rio, the Royal Rumble winner, and Christian. Now, a lot of people wanted Christian to win and be the World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, I mean, he just came back to Actually, he had come back to the WWE.
And this is really the first time he's ever been pushed this far in the company.
Yeah, his first time.
And he kind of deserves it in a way. Yeah. But they just ripped it right out from under him 2 days later. It's not like he held it for a month and then he lost it at a pay-per-view. No, so he held it for a month. But I mean, he held it for 2 days.
Yeah.
And the internet was blown up that Christian lost.
People were wondering, why did they make that decision? And I don't know if anyone was mad at Orton.
Because Vince wanted to make Orton the Cena of SmackDown.
Yeah. But another bad thing that happened with this is that they revealed pretty much all. I mean, we already know that people had pretty much chosen to win the title, but the illusion is gone because we know that Orton was given the title purely for reasons that he's famous
and him being the face of SmackDown.
Yeah.
And I mean, when Christian versus him for that title, Orton's going to retain it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then Christian's going to go back down the ranks, and he's not going to get up there because Vince doesn't believe in him. Yeah. I mean, he has the fans backing him for this World Heavyweight Championship.
He has the fans, he has the skill, he has the history.
At least let the guy hold it for a month or something. But 2 days? Yeah. I mean, they did that with Kane, but they gave him another shot recently, like in the last year. But I mean, with the whole Christian thing, he should have held on to the belt much longer than he had it for.
And another thing is that the title is pretty much mean nothing anymore because We know with the U.S. title, the Intercontinental, and the Tag Team title, they just kind of give people the titles. They keep it for a year. Nothing really happens.
They have no divisions anymore.
There's no divisions.
I mean, everybody's fighting for the World Heavyweight. I mean, if you're lucky enough to get the United States or the Intercontinental Champion, good to you. And I mean, the whole Tag Team Championship,
but it means
forget
nothing.
that.
Because
I mean, what's the Tag Team Championship?
Kofi,
Nothing.
Kofi Kingston won the U.S. title,
which
on
was
Extreme
a
Rules.
great match when he did that leg
It was
drop.
a great match. Yeah, it was a
on
great
Sheamus
match.
through the table. He deserved that just for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's probably not going to go anywhere.
But he's probably not going to go anywhere, and that brings up the bad point of that. It brings up the problem with WWE that they can't just they can't push guys well.
Yeah, like Vince wants to push Miz a lot more, but he doesn't have the wrestling ability.
Yeah.
He has the mic ability.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the wrestling ability. Same thing with John Cena. He has the mic ability, but his 5 moves of doom.
Yeah.
Will not get him very far.
However, some people may have the skill in terms of talent, wrestling talent, but they don't have the mic talent, which brings us to John Morrison and R-Truth. Now, they started this feud on Raw a couple of weeks ago.
When they were in Britain.
Yeah,
and then R-Truth challenged him for his #1 contendership, and John Morrison won, and then R-Truth smoked, and that whole thing. And that whole mic promo was one of the worst promos I've ever seen on Raw.
It set R-Truth up as a heel, which I guess was good because it actually would move his career forward. But what they did with him, with the smoking and the terrible attitude and personality that he has, it doesn't rub you the right way anymore.
I mean, Morrison went into that cage match, and we knew he wasn't going to win because they were going to start a feud with R-Truth.
Despite Morrison having having the opportunity 10 times in that match to win the title.
Yeah, he was on top of that cage more than anybody, and I mean, he had the time to climb down.
Yeah.
But R-Truth is going to come out during that match and interfere.
Came out at the very end, interfered, and
you knew John Cena was going to win that match. But this feud started looking good to me.
Yeah.
But then John Morrison got injured, and now R-Truth is taking that feud with Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio was supposed to have a feud with Del Rio.
Yeah,
so now it looks like it's split into 2 feuds.
You really don't know who he's feuding with, because at one hand he's feuding with Del Rio, on the other he's feuding with Truth. It almost seems like they would have them in some kind of a triple threat, but you have 2 heels versus a face. So it's obvious that the heels would team up.
I mean, that's not the greatest feud in the world. I mean, they should have just pushed R-Truth to the point of he should have kept insisting on John Morrison coming back and him injuring him and playing up that kind of heel. I mean, and wrestling random matches until Morrison comes back.
What I would have done was I wouldn't have put him in the main contenders slot just yet. I would have had him maybe win another title,
or let him talk on the mic,
or at least earn his stripes, because that's really what Jeff Hardy did. I mean, Jeff Hardy was actually a believable champion because he went through the trials that you have to go through to get to that point. Morrison didn't do that. They kind of just said he's a flashy guy, he has a lot of style in the ring, and he has that that parkour stuff.
Which is great in these kind of matches.
It's good, but
he has to match it.
It's not
but he has to speak,
yeah.
and he can't.
It's bad, and
he has no mic talent.
They have to build up his mic talent and then put him in the position that he would need to be in order to go for the title.
Now, with talking about heels, one of the greatest recent heels
is Michael Cole,
which I'm kind of getting sick of at this point.
However, I fear that Michael Cole is going to suffer from NWO-itis, which means that his character is going to get so good, his heel character is going to get so good to the point where they're not going to know what to do with him anymore.
People don't want to just hear about it anymore. I mean, you can only have so many matches between announcers before it gets stale. I mean, great that it's going to be a foot kissing match, but I mean, no. But I mean, at some point, it's just not relevant anymore.
He should have won it. He should have lost at WrestleMania.
This might be leading up to the whole GM thing.
Yeah, where they're finally going to reveal who the GM is.
But that's great. But I mean, it's Michael Cole's on both shows. I'm sick of Michael Cole. The announcers are sick of Michael Cole. Michael Cole has to take a leave of absence at this point.
Even backstage, they're pretty much sick with Cole.
That could be part of the story, but then it couldn't. But I mean, people didn't like Cole even when he wasn't a heel. So He has to get some kind of injury, something that prevents him from speaking, announcing, anything for a couple of months.
And to answer one of the questions that one of our viewers has, which is, is Michael Cole putting a good influence on the WWE by being a heel? I think he is putting a good influence on the WWE. It's good for the company for him to be a heel. He seems to.
It's kind of like a little bit of Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Kind of,
He fits that niche perfectly. I mean, you want to hate him, but it's got to be resolved soon.
With niches, they should bring back the Cruiserweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
They have Sin Cara, Mysterio, Evan Bourne. Like we said before, they're not pushing the right people. If they have the right titles to fight for, then people will like them more. Like, Christian could be a great Cruiserweight. Chavo, Sin Cara, Mysterio, like I said before. But they got to fit the right areas.
But these are all just suggestions that we are going to give. And hopefully at Over the Limit they resolve all these storylines and all these plots that they've been working on for a while.
And they change.
Yeah, and they give us the kind of change that we're going to love.
Alright, I think that's all the time we have for today. If you liked our video, we've got 2 words for you. Please
subscribe.
Also, you can follow us on Twitter at AlWPWTom@Twitter.com.
And the question today is, what is your opinion on the current storylines of the WWE, and how would you make them better?
Please leave your answers and comments below. See ya!
Keep it in the ring, YouTube.